Aloha. Welcome.
Oh no, 603 miles. 170 kilometers, that's what I read.
Oh, okay. I was going to say
603
that's
miles.
too much. It's not that much. Right. Hello, everyone. Getting bings. Getting bings because the temperature is so low. It's telling us that we need to know the temperature. I don't know why I'm talking. There's no one watching.
Oh no, 603.
Is that playing back what I'm doing now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, there's 3 people watching. It said no people watching, and then you started watching, and then I've doubled our ratings. Hello and welcome to UK for UKR. I'm Graham Hughes. This is Chris Rossi, also known as Bear, and we are travelling to Ukraine. Well, we're travelling to the border with Ukraine. I've lost my hat. Where's the my hat? Oh, mate, where's my hat? Chris, where's my hat? Can you see it? Oh, there it is. Foot falling out the door. I'm a bit upset then. These hats come from Australia. It's a long bloody walk to get another one, I tell you. Right. Okay, so we just crossed the border into Poland. We now have a 6.5-hour journey to the border. If we don't stop, but we'll probably stop along the way at some point because I'll need to wee and Chris needs to take over driving. And although it would be quite cool to try and switch places without getting out the van, I think it would be pretty dangerous to do so, especially while traveling down a motorway at 80 miles an hour. Anyway, so yes, we crossed the border. I was really excited because I looked up on Google Maps just before we got to the border, pulled over and had the map, and it said that there was a KFC on the border with Poland, and obviously Poland is half the price of Germany. I was like, yes, it closes at midnight, but I will be there before midnight. This is all good. We're just gonna have a good time here. Everyone's gonna have a good time, and we're gonna have some KFC. So we got to KFC at about, I don't know, 11:30 or something. I don't know what time it is now, and we discovered, to my shock, shame, and misery, that the KFC had no chicken left. Well, they did have chicken left, but it gone past its time to sell it, so he couldn't sell it in case I got salmonella or something and then sued KFC forever. And I said, I'll tell you what, mate, why don't you get a bucket, put as many pieces of chicken as you can in the bucket, right, and then just leave it on the counter and then turn around and then I'll just steal it, right? And he went, there's 4 problems with that idea. And he went, and he pointed at the security cameras, and he went 1, 2, 3, 4, and I was like, oh, okay then. So yes, didn't take the KFC. So all they had left was 7 chicken wings, which they don't do in the same coating as the normal chicken. So after driving for 12 hours solid, pretty much. Ready I was for the KFC. There was no KFC. All of it now is my bitter tears to drink. So Chris is having a good time, aren't you, Chris? Tell he's having a good time. What's it like being my co-pilot? It's great. He's having a great time. Having a great time. I'm gonna drink some Coke, give me away. So today we started in France, then we went through Belgium, then we went to the Netherlands, then we went through Germany. Now we are going coast to coast, not coast to coast, border to border, all the way across Poland. Oh yes. And there was a guy at the petrol station back there trying to explain to me that they didn't have any petrol till 1 in the morning. We can wait if we want. He didn't speak any English, so another guy came over and explained what he meant. I'm like, okay, I get it. And then as the other guy, the translator guy, walked off, he went, I'm from Ukraine, and gave me the thumbs up. Yes, he's got Ukraine flags all over the map. All good. Right, just take care. I know you won't cross the border, but I can't control myself. I'm worried. Oh no, don't be worried. I think it says Marilena. I think it's really hard to read when you're driving.
We'll be fine.
We'll be alright. I've crossed more dangerous borders than this before, you know. They haven't killed me yet.
For me.
I'm sure they'll keep trying though.
You just hide behind me. I'm big enough.
I can use you as a shield.
You
Right.
know what?
My bingo wings are like a shield of steel. I thought Chris was taking over driving. Yeah, I said to Chris,
So did I.
but I just started driving. Well, I thought we'll stop the border and try to change over. Then there was no fuel, and there was no KFC. So I thought, sod it, I'll keep driving until we find fuel. Possibly KFC. Then the KFC closed at midnight. I was closing at midnight, so. Not doing, mate, not doing. But yeah, I'm not really that tired, so I'm thinking I'll keep driving until I'm tired, and then I'll say, Chris, do you want to take over?
I've tried twice now. Twice I've tried to take over, and he just, no. Not having it.
Not having it.
Not having it, boy.
Not having it.
Not having it.
Not having it.
Not having it. You know what I mean? Not having it.
Not having it. Why are we taking the piss out of companies?
I don't
Because they deserve it. Oh, cockney. Bloody Londoners.
Can we swear after the 9 o'clock?
Yes, you fucking can.
Right.
There won't be any kids watching it.
Fucking have it.
Fucking have it. Although they might watch tomorrow morning. So
Oh, that's
maybe,
the point.
maybe that's not
That's the point,
yeah.
Sorry, kids. You heard me swear. You've probably heard it before.
No, he just said for kids, have it. That's what he said there. He just has a strong accent.
Yeah,
strong,
absolutely.
Strong rummy accent.
That's exactly what I said.
That's the Yoda Chepai and Dunley. True story. True story. Yeah, lots of
Multiple houses.
affordable houses. They have a portable house.
We've already seen some military hardware.
This much is true.
So I suppose the closer we get to the border, the more we're going to see, probably.
Well, apparently we've got to go straight forward for 400 kilometres.
Yeah.
So let's do it. Let's just go straight forward for 400 kilometres. It's a long way.
Yeah.
Back in 2016, I paid a visit to Ireland to meet up with a girl that I liked, but it didn't quite work out. No, to Dublin. But I met up with another friend of mine, and we were there around Easter, or the anniversary of the 1916 Easter Rising. And so we went on Easter Rising tour of Dublin city centre, where we were taken around and told the story of how the uprising started and where it started, and we walked to the GPO, where they took over in the post office, and then we ended up in the Remembrance Garden in Dublin, and it was really nice. And the tour guide was called Rory, and me and my friend wanted to give him a tip, but he had no we had no cash. Laura didn't have any cash on her, and I didn't have any euros. So I said, well, I'll just go to find a cash machine somewhere. So we started walking. I'm in the city centre. There's loads of banks, and I think I tried like 4 different cash machines before I finally got some euros out. And we probably walked for about half an hour before we went back to the Remembrance Garden. And he was still there because the people after the tour had stayed behind. It was a long tour to take all morning, and they were still asking questions, just talking about events and things. And I gave Rory like €5 to say thanks very much for the tour. And as I walked away, I said to Laura, "That was a long way to tip a Rory." I guess you had to be there. Because his name was Rory, and we had walked a long way to get a tip for. Come on, when did you get a chance to say something like that?
Seriously, You see what I have to put up with, do you?
They know.
I mean, do you not feel sorry for me?
The people who are watching this, most of them are people who watch my
I've had
stuff.
this continuously now since Watford Gap.
You just like my Scouse jokes, though. One. Oh, you like two of them. Laughed at two of them.
People like the other one.
Laughed at least two of them. At least I have the cup of tea, says Duke. Duke, cup of tea is always good, mate. Kind of a bit gels, actually. Decent brew. Decent brew for you. Do you think Graham, Wally Bra? Oh, Wally's. Hey, how you doing, Marcus? Marcus is watching. Oh yeah, Mad Monk is saying to Marcus, who spent 2 months on an island with me. Do you think Graham is doing Chris's head in yet? Lol. This is why I don't do drugs and I travel alone. There's a great quote. Well, it's the sign that used to be above the.
And this is why I will be taking drugs and I will be alone.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I travel alone. But yeah, above the Oracle's cave in Delphi in ancient Greece, she had written, "Know thyself." So you know, play to your strengths. I notice you are both alive. Thank you, Yoni, for noticing that. Always good.
It's always good.
Always good.
Always a plus, I think.
Marcus is saying to Mad Monk, try 6 weeks. That's about 24 hours.
You did 6 weeks?
Yeah, on an island.
Mate,
On an island to run.
If you ever need any counselling, we're here.
Know what to add. Yeah.
I'm going to flick your ears again.
Don't flick things.
I'm going to flick your ears.
You moan when I tell jokes. You moan when I don't tell jokes.
I'm just going to flick your ears.
I'm going to get all heavy again.
It's not that I have to flick your ears. Really, really want it.
I'm just trying to lighten the mood a little bit because obviously we're taking supplies to people who are a bit traumatized coming out of Ukraine.
They're traumatized.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to lighten the situation. I would just go off on one about Putin if you prefer.
What, again?
Go on my epic monologues about how much of a cunt he is. Sorry, how much of a see next Tuesday is. That's right, let's go get live. How far to go? Well, it's coming to midnight here. I think I'm just past midnight. I still haven't fixed the clock. The clock tells me that it's 7:53 in the morning. I don't think that's right. I somehow don't think that's right. We should be getting in about 7, I think. 7 in the morning. We drive through the night. I drove all night to get to Ukraine. Is that all right? Who sung it originally?
What?
I drove all night.
Cindy Lauper wasn't.
Nope.
What was his name?
Nope. I can't name Color Clown. They call us the goals.
The one who did Pretty Woman.
Yes.
Him.
Roy Orbison.
Roy Orbison, that was it.
The big O.
I couldn't think of his name. I could see him and hear him.
That's a much nicer song than 24 Hours from Tulsa. I drove all night to get to you because, you know, I really like you. 24 Hours in Tulsa. I was about a day away, and I thought, I know, I'll hook up with someone else. See you later. Bye.
It's quite brutal.
It's very brutal. And the horrible thing is, like, imagine waiting for someone who you loved and you thought loved you. You're waiting for them, and then you get this message to them sung in this funky song, Burt Bacharach style. Something. It's just horrible. Just horrible. Right, what else are people saying? Fair play, boys. That's from Jeremy Hall. Yeah, we got We've got a bit of a way to go. We're on this road, the road that we're on at the moment, 400 kilometers straight on, going straight across Poland. That is the plan at the moment. There is nothing behind us. There is nothing ahead of us. There's some stuff on the other side of the road. I am liking that the barrier in the middle of the road obscures the headlights of the cars on the other side.
It's quite cool.
That is very good, actually. That's stopping me from getting blinded.
All the way down from Germany, we're just getting blinded.
By some dick in an Audi with those really bright, slightly blue lights. And you know, you're like, oh, that's not. My lights are slightly blue. Evening, guys. Hello, Erica.
Evening.
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 Are you getting a couple of AK-47s out there to Dingy? What? When you get to Dingy? What? Dingy? Dingy. Are you getting a couple of... yeah, probably not. Are you getting a couple of AK-47s? No. Not our style. Plus, Marcus is saying evening. Evening.
Evening.
Marcus said he might come on a run. Actually.
All right, cool.
He lives in France.
Nice.
So if we find out, Marcus, seriously, if we find out that we've got a family that we can bring to France, if there's a place for someone, a family to go in France, pick you up. We'll take some aid to the border, pick up the family, and come back. That sounds good. Yeah, we're not taking any weapons. This is all just humanitarian aid, beds, radiators, and
defibs.
Yeah, defibrillator.
What's it?
Oxygen concentrator.
Bandages, trauma packs, and
he asked for a couple of oxygen bottles, like oxygen. So I was like, well, all right. So I had a look online. I thought, well,
we could not bring them across the border.
Oh yeah, that's
we can't bring them across the border.
That's the point. So oxygen is highly flammable.
Can't bring them across, not without a special license.
Oh, but we can bring the oxygen concentrator.
Yeah.
Which you don't need bottles for. I don't know how things work. Do you know what's a bit disconcerting, mate? I haven't seen a single service or anything since we got on this road.
Yep.
Sorry.
Let's see if I can find one.
In a camper van. That's the worst gonna happen. It's alright, mate. We've got 265 miles on the range. Oh, by the way, the petrol here is about half the price than it is in Germany. So, fill up in Poland. If you have to buy it elsewhere, fill up to exactly what you need to get yourself to Poland, and then once you're here, it's some more. Are you getting a couple of AK-47s when you get out there to fight the Russians? They're really easy to use.
Do we not?
First, the trigger bar. I guess they're very easy to pull the trigger bar, but actually, when I was growing up and watching Hollywood movies, the villains would fire 100 AK-47 and miss every time. And it's fine if you're just doing them, you know, take the automatic, take the semi-automatic shot. That's if you put it onto semi-automatic, it just wants to shoot the ceiling. It's like you're spending half the time essentially chasing the error, just like trying to get the gun to point in the right direction. Couldn't hit a barn door. Well, I couldn't hit a barn door with one of them. But no, this is a humanitarian mission. We're not going out to shoot Russians with Russian guns. Not my style. Chris, is that your style? No.
Sorry to disappoint and all that, but you know.
You're more of a blow up a cow with a bazooka kind of guy, aren't you? Looks like steak's back on the menu, boys. Hope you don't want it rare. Keep on going over some ridges maybe, and the speed limit goes to 80 kilometers an hour for like 10 meters, and then it goes back to 110. I didn't see the sign when we crossed the border that they normally have. I must have missed it. It tells you what all the national speed limits are for the country. I'm going to guess that Poland is 110 kilometers. I might be wrong. If someone wants to find out what the national speed limit is in Poland, oh, actually, no, there's a helpful sign that says 110. It is 110. That's what I'm doing. Kilometers an hour, boys and girls, don't get too excited. Oh, 80. Got down to 80 for like a few meters, and now we're back up to. It's really dangerous. Back up to 110. Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Hi, Tommy. Can you bring something back? I don't know what that word says. Frontliners? Fortnighters? It's really hard to read in the dark, I'm sorry to say.
Can you bring fertilizers back? Fertilizers?
Oh, fertilizer, yeah, because a lot of the fertilizer is from Ukraine that they use, and it's going to be a huge problem or something, isn't it, with the planting season because of the disruption to agriculture caused by this conflict. Because we get so much of our food or grain or whatever from sunflower oil, from both Russia and especially Ukraine. David is there saying hi. Hi, everyone. Oh. Yeah, we'll see if they got some fertilizer to trade. We'll pass them on the border. Fertilizers are banned for export from Ukraine. It's a bit shit.
It is medical.
What?
I've been trying to figure out how to spell it. It's medical.
Medica.
Yeah,
Okay.
medical.
I've been saying Medica, haven't I?
Yeah, it's medical.
Medica. Okay, so where we're going on the border, if you want to look on the map, look it up on the map, it's called Medica. Is your map still saying that? It's like a lot further away than my map.
It's
Saying it should get there about half 6 in the morning.
that one says half 7.
Might still be on there. Don't avoid tolls or something.
Is yours updated this time?
Yeah. That was in the travel tunnel. Ah, okay, good. Look, there's a trip park thing going on there. Lol. So are you sure you're going to be all right taking over and letting me have a bit of sleep? Don't drive all the way. Like just drive.
Yeah, I know.
Until you don't want to drive no more. Oh, we're about to plunge into the darkness. Oh. Does everyone want to go faster than us? Woo. Where are you at the moment? We crossed the border into Poland about half an hour ago or so. So we're maybe about half an hour from the Polish border. Let's see, we started this stream.
This route avoids road closures on A18 past exit Kryzowa. You are on the best route and you should reach your destination by 0:59.
Yeah. Does she ever shut up?
I'm trying to find petrol stations. They're all back there. So
Yeah, no,
we have to go a little further before we find one.
We just went past the load. I just said there's a load of stuff there. Don't worry about it. But we got 250 miles on the range, so don't talk about it. What time is it?
It's midnight.
Woo! Doesn't feel it. Feels about like I don't know 10:30 at night. Because we lost 2 hours last night. There's a border between, I don't know, Kyrgyzstan and China, where if you cross the border, you have to put your watch for with 3 hours. Because all of China is on Beijing time. As mad as that sounds. He should be okay to drive, seeing as he's been awake all day. Tommy Gunn, okay. You talking about me or about Chris? Oh man. Oh. Did you come to Poland on your trip around Europe and Oh yeah, you went to the chicken factory. Yeah. Oh, you're the chicken guy from the chicken factory.
I think that's very long. Yeah, it was horrible.
See now, those jobs, when you get COVID and you lose your sense of smell, those jobs will be less bothersome. Right? I can only assume that people who do those types of jobs don't smell very, like they can't smell very well. Because if you can, then surely you just vomit. I don't know.
No, maybe neither, but
Imagine. I think my first trip to Poland was in the summer of 1990.
This was 1987.
Oh, so
Got a job. It's very different back then.
you were pre-wall, I was post-wall collapse.
I didn't see the wall collapse though.
Were you there?
Mm-hmm.
What?
When I arrived there, it was
Berlin?
yeah, we came back. We're on the way back. We landed, and there was a stopover, and it was like 3 hour stopover. Got the cheapest flight we could find.
Yeah.
And it took forever to get home. And they're looking 3 hour delay stopover. And everybody's getting really excited. People running around, and there's all this kind
So
of
where are you coming
excitement.
from?
where I was coming from.
Yeah.
Hong Kong.
You come from Hong Kong?
Yeah.
And you flew via Berlin?
No, I actually from Hong Kong to oh god. I was in Hong Kong. No, it was Hong Kong to Berlin, and then from there it was to France, and then from France to Scotland.
Cool.
That was the only flight I could get really cheap. It was really cheap because no one fucking wanted to go. Basically, when we landed, it was a 3-hour layover. Loads of excitement. Asked somebody what was going on. He said to me, "The wall's coming down." And do you know what my response was?
What wall?
There you go. I got a really funny look off him.
Man of the world.
Real funny look off him. So I managed to get out there. By the time I got out there, like 4 panels had already come down. But there was people coming out with like sledgehammers, and somebody had actually opened up. I don't know where they got them from, but then somebody opened up a construction firm because they're like bulldozers on these down up, and there's people walking around with Stollen and schnapps, and they're making a big party. There was music and all sorts. It was really, really unusual. And I've still got a bit of the Berlin Wall at home. Not that big.
I've got my bit of the Berlin Wall. So when I went over the summer, it was the summer, so it came down in November 1989, and I went to Berlin with my family. I was only 10 or 11 years old, and they had a lot of the wall was still there, and they had, like, instead of buying a souvenir, you could hire a hammer and chisel, not a hammer and sickle, a hammer and chisel, and you could knock as much of the wall off as you could, take it home with you. So I've got a chunk of the Berlin Wall. It's very funny because the smooth stuff had all gone, and so what they used to do every morning is just to get a spray can and just spray over them, just nothing, just like spray on the wall, so that when people got a chunk of the wall, it has a bit of graffiti on it, so they can go on. But I didn't really understand the significance of it at the time.
I did.
And it wasn't.
I remember seeing thing so it's pretty.
I wasn't. I know you said what wall?
Who still got there?
But no, I mean, I was 11, to be fair to me. Yeah, years later, I look back at that and I just think it was a very, very formative experience in my life, which made me the kind of person I am today. And the stuff that I do, like traveling and politics stuff and all that, and my love of Europe and freedom that I used to take for granted in some ways. Yeah, it's all wrapped up in that trip that I did. We went to Czechoslovakia, went to Poland, went to Hungary. Or maybe it was a couple of years later that we went to Hungary. Whenever we went to Hungary, if anyone wants to look up when tanks rolled into bloody Red Square to try and take out Boris Yeltsin, it was either something 91 or something 92. That's the year that we went to Hungary. And I remember we were watching that on CNN in the hotel. Then we started hearing all these bangs outside, like, explosions and stuff. Like I say, we got 240. Be good. Be good for a little bit. There's all these bangs going off in Budapest, and we were like, "What the hell?" Like, we look out the window, and we see it's fireworks. I think my dad went down to the reception to ask what was happening, and he said, "Oh, it was the Hungary's National Day or whatever." A lot of people come from Hungary called the Magyar. So it was their national day, and so they were having a big celebration. They thought the Russians would come back. It's been a coup.
Will you continue to drive all night? Says Conservator. We will indeed. Like Roy Orbison, we'll drive all night to get to you, friend. Just me in videos, going to sleep. Good night. Just me in videos. Thank you for joining us. Baybag says morning. Morning. Conservator says morning. 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 Ah. So in France, right, the motto for the Navy is to the water it is there. To in French, to go to is à. Water is eau, or l'eau, actually, I should say the water, l'eau. And it is there is c'est là, c'est là. So you put it all together and it's allô, c'est là. Allô, c'est là. French naval motto. No? I like you light beams. I get jealous. Why have you got light beams? I've got any light beams. No. Duke Vengeance is getting angry. How dare you go to sleep? What anecdotes do you have about visiting Ukraine? I don't really have much anecdotes about visiting Ukraine. I've only ever been to the border before. I've not really travelled through Ukraine, unfortunately.
Never been.
Now I've left it a bit too late because a lot of the places that I would have liked to have seen in Ukraine have been destroyed or damaged, severely damaged by the Russians. It's kind of heartbreaking. It's kind of heartbreaking. It's totally heartbreaking.
Well, it is though, isn't it?
I came across in 2017 when I was trying to go to every country in Europe in 3 weeks and without flying. And sorry, 18 days, not 3 weeks, 18 days. And yeah, got chatting with some people on the border. Just walked over Moldova, actually. I get the same vibe of people in the few people I met in Ukraine. It's quite, fairly cheerful and happy-go-lucky. And I never really got that impression in Russia, particularly in Leningrad in Russia. I stayed there for a couple of days, but it's a big crowd. No one wanted to speak to me, which Chris is now thinking part's understandable, but they didn't know me.
Are you telling jokes?
Well, I don't know, maybe a few. Bayberg's just written an essay. Bayberg can't read essays, mate. Driving the car. Just give us one-liners, preferably with as few letters as possible. Words of one syllable are good.
You still think this is in German?
God. Bayberg, while in Poland, if someone offers you blackie or something, don't eat that. It's a traditional dish. Okay, I can't read all that, but Bayberg's warning us not to eat blackie or black. Clazy? Oh. Are you on the E40 perhaps?
Yes.
Yes, we're on the E40. Sorry, I should have said. We're going somewhere called Roclaw. Oh. Meters. Oh, it's true. Yeah, Roclaw. That's where we're going. Roclaw. Or as I like to call it, woke law. They're making these laws that we can't. We're not allowed to be woke anymore, or we have to be woke. One of the two. The E40 is probably nice and smooth these days due to EU funding. It's incredibly smooth. Driving at night.
Incredibly empty. Oh.
Yeah. Nobody we have the day to ourselves pretty much, which is fabulous. I like it. You should watch the Puppet Pals video, mate. That's what you should do. You just type it into Google. Go on. Go on, go on, go on. Go on, go on, go on. Have a cup of tea. Have a cup of tea. We've got another question. What could possibly go wrong? First of all, we do stupid maneuvers in our faces. Good. Well,
What could possibly go wrong?
there wasn't any.
Really?
There wasn't anything in the news today about. Well, we listened to the Radio 4 news just at 11 o'clock, and there was nothing in the news, was there, about any kind of shelling or attacks or bombings or anything like that in Ukraine. It was just about, well, Zelensky said this, and Putin said this, and Biden said this. That was really it, wasn't it?
Pretty much.
No mention of Boris Johnson.
Thank God.
Probably hiding in a fridge again. Marsol. The Mars wife.
Yeah, so
Both of them actually, says Baerbag. This is difficult, this. How about you drive on the wrong side of the road in an unfamiliar country in the middle of the night? I made comments off the internet. Try not to fall asleep. See, I was going to overtake, and I thought better of it. See, when I had to slam his brakes on. Have you seen the new Batman movie? Never, man. I wanted to go and see it, but the kids wanted to see Sing 2 instead. So we had to watch that.
Let's see what?
Sing 2.
No.
Actually, I didn't mind taking them to the cinema because it was the first time they got to the cinema in 2 years because of COVID. The last movie we saw together was Onward, the Pixar movie. What's Barchin saying? Did similar lose a couple of them. Cool, man. Termite at Warsaw. Okay. Probably goes to Rockwell. Should. So says I have to go, bon voyage. Thank you very much for watching, Conservator. Take care, mate. Good night, my friend. Good night. Or we can visit Auschwitz. But yeah, okay, thanks, Tommy, for the suggestion, but I think that the fact that we're going to do this mission in the first place is depressing enough. I don't think we're going to need to go and remind ourselves of the horrors of the last World War. Do you think this might escalate?
Anybody's guess.
They seem to be scaling down their objectives. If what they want to do now is basically take over half of Ukraine, because the original plan was to take over all of Ukraine.
You can't do it, can you? So
No.
So you can do a typical Russian thing and try and save face and say, oh, well, we already want it half anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, he's not even going to get that. He's not going to get that. He can't, can he?
Still sending troops in though.
But talking about it being split by like North Korea or
Yeah.
you know, in two countries, but
They probably hold what he's got.
there were Koreans. It was the Korean Civil War, and there were Koreans fighting Koreans. The Ukrainians aren't fighting themselves. This is very, very different. This is the separatist leaders of.
What they meant was
These regions.
what they meant was them separating them. That's all it means. They've got so much of Ukraine. They'll probably just hold that, and that'll be it.
But they can't. They don't have any of the cities, do they? I mean, they bomb the living crap out of Mariupol, but they haven't taken it. They haven't taken the city still.
No, but what he'll do is he'll hold what he's got. The amount of ground he's got. And entrench there probably. One way of doing it.
But does he have ground, or does he just have roads?
He's got some ground.
I saw a map of like you know when ISIS were at the height, and you see these maps that they put on the news and stuff, and you go, ISIS have taken over all this massive area, and you go, bloody hell, taken over loads. And what they did, they looked at it and went, well, actually, they didn't take over the whole area. They just took over the roads. It's the actual areas that they ruled, and it was just the roads. Because they didn't have the manpower to like take over the whole.
It's quite right. No, you know, you'll turn and say, oh, we've come this far. This is what we wanted anyway. He'll entrench and then basically work his way in bit by bit. Or try to.
Do what, sorry?
He'll entrench himself. He's got so far.
Yeah.
He'll hold that ground. He'll entrench himself, and then what he'll do is he'll hold it and say, right, this is all we wanted anyway, just to save face. And then while he's building up his forces in that area, he'll then try and push forward a little bit each time. Just a little bit more.
If that happens, this could go on for a very, very.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shit.
But at the moment, he's just sending wave after wave of troops, hoping that, you know, the numbers will the numbers will overwhelm them, but it's not happening that way.
And the motivation on the Russian side seems like at an all-time low. I mean, it just seems ridiculous.
Well, I wouldn't be there.
Some of the stories that are coming out about, and also if you contrast the use of social media by the Ukrainian forces to the Russian forces aren't using social media to make themselves look boss. Do you know what I mean?
They're not allowed to.
Whereas the Ukrainians are, and what's going out on Russian social media is like what the state allows, and they can't even make it look good. I mean, it's USSR citizens fighting against former USSR citizens. Madness. Yeah, but it's not. It's not Ukrainians versus Ukrainians, and in Vietnam and in Korea, you had a civil war going on anyway, whereas the civil war didn't exist in Ukraine. It was always just the Russians causing problems in the east, in Donetsk. Well, I've said this a few times. I just hate the fact that Russia feels it can take over another country, you know, a sovereign country, and do what it likes. Demand that they do certain things, like join NATO, not join NATO, not join the EU, put a leader in that Russia approves of, Moscow approves of. Got a big long message there from Kit. Would you mind reading that? Yeah. The bear looks tired. Let him sleep. Do you want to sleep?
Let us let him sleep. We all need shush time. Take time out from talking yourself around news. You must be doing his epic with your constant babbling. We all need peace and quiet. Stay safe and wind down, mate.
Well, we had a bit of quiet when we weren't actually filming. It's just that I think that people watching this are just going to sit there and go, well, this is kind of boring, watching this person drive in silence. Do you want to get
to be honest with you guys, once you take over driving, he's going to get his head down. So all you're going to be doing is watching me drive. So it's I reckon that once we swap over, then we'll just switch the camera off and put it back on about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning. Do it that way.
That'd be sensible. No one needs to see me snore.
We'll hear it.
Bear's just got to keep poking me. Oh, you still snoring.
So, Yeah, so what we'll do is once we swap over, then we'll switch the camera off and then put it back on as we get into the border.
Do you want to have a kip now and for an hour or something?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Literally, I'm just resting. That's all.
Like Kit, be told.
But thanks anyway. Thanks for thinking of me.
Or you could turn the camera onto the street so you can see the what's ahead of us.
Spin the camera around.
Well, if I'm in the passenger seat, I can probably suss out how to change it to the other.
Right.
Other camera.
Well, the services here we can change over. Sure.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, we're going into the services. 2 kilometers. We're going to stop over. We're going to get some kit. Kit sent another essay. I'm sorry, I can't read it. I'm driving. But yeah. Whoa. What time are we in? 1 o'clock. Okay, yeah, that'll do. You can do a few hours and then wake me up and I'll finish off. Yeah, so
No worries.
Is this where the parking place is?
Don't know.
Yeah. I'll see where this is going.
Don't know,
What?
yeah, don't know.
It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Well, we're only swapping over, aren't we? So
Yeah. Oh. It's like a fucking building site. Just stop here.
Yeah.
Cool.
right, and guys, we'll talk to you on the flip side.
Right. Thank you very much for watching. We're about to swap drivers. So I'm going to knock the feed off.
What did he say? Is it about helping the Ukrainian? Is it about helping the Ukrainian people, or just a cheap publicity stunt to get famous again for you, Graham?
Get some.
But the biggest one.
Calm down, Kit. It's alright.
Kit, it's not a publicity stunt, girl. Or boy, was it Kit?
It's Kit, it's girl.
Girl. Sorry, it's
It's
not.
girl, sir.
It's not a publicity stunt, Kit. Everything's fine. We've already agreed different things, so it's okay. All right. So
I love
we're
being
gonna
shouted at after driving for 15 hours.
switch off, and then
fuck
thanks for it, and I'll see you later. Bye.